One man is dead and another is hospitalized following a shooting incident last night in Belize City. Last night at around 8:30, 20-year-old Kieran Morrison and 18-year-old Kent Brooks Jr. were socializing on La Croix Boulevard in the Lake Independence area when they came under fire from a sole gunman on a bicycle. Today, Assistant Commissioner of Police Chester Williams said the incident is gang-related.
Upon arrival, police observed one Kieran Morrison and one Kent Brooks. Both were suffering from gunshot wounds they had sustained as a result of a shooting in that area. Both men were transported to the KHMH, where Kieran Morrison succumbed to his injuries shortly thereafter. Brooks is currently admitted in a critical condition at the KHMH. We believe that it is gang-related based on what we have gathered so far. And you would know that there are two gangs operating in the St. Martin's area. You have the PIV and you have the Bakalan crowd. And there are instances where some of them are living in what is called the territory of the other. And this is one of those circumstances. But you would agree with me that this is no reason for them to be killing out themselves.
Police have detained two persons. Assistant Commissioner Williams spoke of why police were not in the area at the time, as a checkpoint is just a few blocks from where the shooting occurred.
We have two persons of interest in custody, and our investigation around those two persons continues. From what we gather, there was one shooter. There may be a vehicle involved, and as to the amount of expended shell, I will not go down that road. You see, these are the things that glorifies these young men, you know. When the media put it out, oh, so much shells were found, and you know, that glorifies them. I'm not going to add to the glory. From our understanding, a vehicle was involved, but the gunman got out of the vehicle and fired the shots at the individuals. The St. Martin's area has expanded significantly, and we try to see as best as we can to be able to police the St. Martin's area. It's very, very challenging. And yes, we had our patrols in place, but because the area is so huge, you know, the patrols have other areas to cover. Because the truth is that we were not focusing too much on these type of crimes in that area, because it has been dormant where shootings are concerned for a long time. And we are more focusing on preventing the burglaries and so forth, which has become more prevalent in the area. So you'll find that the officers would not be on that La Croix Boulevard area as often as they would, but try to cover the back areas more where the burglaries were occurring to try and deter those type of crimes.
Kimberly Michael arrived on the scene minutes after the shooting. She said she rushed out after hearing the shots since she had just sent her son to the store. She tells us what she saw on arriving at the scene.
I see Kieran Morrison on the ground line, but I was not focused on him. I made a focus on my neighbor, which is Kent Brooks, and I run towards him and I holler out his name. Not a response. And when I turn her over, I start slap up her in her face and I holler, Kenty, Kenty, get up. And I saw he end up to respond to me. And I tell her, who shot you? He said, I don't know who shot me. So I tell her, what part I get shot? He said, in my chest. So I lift up his shirt and I see no bullet hole. So I tell her, you don't get shot. I turn her over and I see no bullet hole neither. So he said, yes, I get shot. I feel it like that. He said that when I turn up on the other side, and then I see what bullet hole, but I holler, you know, the bleed. That what I tell him, and all way he the ball out, he said, me, I was dead. And I tell her, no, you know what dead.
Michael says she heard about 7 shots. She told us Morrison died shortly after he was shot.
When I see him on the ground, I see his sister stand up the ball, but he on the phone. But I see a lot of blood, but my intention that he done dead. But according to when the mobile they come and my brother come, they said that he still the breed make their camera. But meanwhile when they do for pick up and thing, they said that he dead. You know, roughly like 7 shots because he had 3 first. That would make her run because I know my son was at the back there. Then afterwards, I hear it again like they want to finish her then. They just said the vehicle was waiting up more by the pipe side and the person from the bike come through the alley with a cap on his head. Creep up on there and so. So they catch Kieran, they catch Kieran off guard. Kieran was in his phone.
Meanwhile, the other victim, Kent Brooks, remains in the intensive care unit in a critical condition. Last night's murder in the Lake Independence area was the first in about 3 months. Police and residents say the area had been quiet for some time. Assistant Commissioner of Police Chester Williams spoke of the efforts being put into that area of the city.
From a police standpoint, we have done a lot of work in the Martins area, and you would see for yourself as well that the Martins area has been dormant for quite some time, and that is attributed to the work that we have been doing in that area, and we will continue to work in that area. As we have always said before, that we never believe that our efforts will deter all murders from occurring. But we believe that through our efforts we can minimize the occurrences of these heinous type crimes.
Resident Kimberly Michael, who was on the scene shortly after the murder, says there is some concern among residents as they are now expecting some kind of retaliation.
And I do believe it get worse. I do believe that. It's a long time for true, not never may happen in the backyard, and then they just start over again. You don't know who, then you have to watch wrong, then you have to, then the kids, they always they out. And that way you have to deal with too. Because then they boy like, they don't care, they just go and do what they got to do, they don't care who they're wrong,
Assistant Commissioner Williams says interventions and workshops will continue in the area.
The police, we're trying, we have been backwards like we're invertebrates, and we'll continue to do that. But at the end of the day, it is not a problem that the police can solve alone. I think that parents need to play a more active role in the lives of their children, and even though some of these people are somewhat young men already, they are past the age of 18, parents still do have a huge influence on them, and some of them are living with their parents still. So if parents can keep track and monitor what these young men are doing, I think that it will help our efforts. We will continue to see what we can do, but as I've always said before as well, that it is inevitable. Some of them have sentenced themselves to death, and no matter what we do, they will die.
Police say that Morrison and Brooks were known to them as gang affiliates.